welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're either catching me on my YouTube channel True Divine 44 or my Facebook page True Divine 44. Like, share, subscribes and comments on either or both of those platforms. It's greatly appreciated. Much love to all of those who've done that this far and sent me the private messages thanking me for what I'm doing. I really appreciate it, and that helps support and inspire me. So I'm putting out as much free content as I can to give support and guidance to those that need it. Some of it might resonate with you because it's general, some of it might not. You can always book me for a private reading or a private energy session with any of the contact details above or below, depending on where you're watching this video. So I'd appreciate that much. The sharing and spreading the word is also an amazing thing to do. So thank you for all of you that are doing that. This is a monthly tarot reading, a general tarot reading for the lovely Geminis out there. I'm a Gemini also, and there's something going down Gemini for March 2020. So if this resonates with you, take it. Whatever doesn't resonate with you, leave behind for somebody else. So the first card out, well, I've got to say this first actually. All the first three cards that came out for like week 1, week 2, week 3 of March 2020. The first card being the Page of Pentacles. The second card being the Knight of Cups. The third card being the Knight of Swords. So all news, messages, you know, things being made known to you. All of that very much so in the month of March, Gemini. So there's something going on where, you know, you've maybe in the dark a little bit for quite some time. But you've sort of been feeling that, you know, something's going to break, something's got to give, something's got to move slightly in your circumstance. And the information that you've sort of been waiting for and holding out for and wondering when it was going to come in is, you know, bombarding you in the month of March. So you've waited for so long, and then like bang, 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 you might feel a little bit overwhelmed with all of the different avenues that this news that you've been waiting for is deciding to come in. So the first card being the Page of Pentacles. So, you know, this page is, yes, he spreads the news. Yes, he gives the news. He's sent out to do so. He's the explorer. He's very diligent, the hard worker. The energy of, you know, he's the material. So he's hard working and diligent towards material sustainability or bringing in news that will help bolster that material sustainability. To clarify him, we have the Seven of Swords. So you know, there's that diligence again, because the Seven of Swords here representing for me is the fact that there may be some diligence needed, because the Seven of Swords here also portrays a little bit of betrayal, something that you don't really, we aren't going to really expect that it comes from this angle, whereas you seem to be working and hard working and on an adventure, on an endeavour to try and create something sustainable, to try and create something that is good, that can hold you materialistically, that can sustain you materialistically. There's an energy behind you that has maybe been working against you in ways that you wouldn't have predicted, in maybe the person that you wouldn't have predicted, or the way that it would, the construct that was working against you that you wouldn't have predicted. But somehow, some way, this is going to be made clear to you, and there needs to be discernment as to how you take this on. You know, there needs to be integrity held. Don't you drop your integrity or your morals, or you know, bend your rules from what you would normally do to get to where you want to materially, for the sake of this energy, because it will come back to stab you in the back. So maintain this hard working, diligent stance. You know, don't be fooled into something that isn't really up your street normally, that isn't really you normally. It's not something you would normally do to get ahead, because that's not a nice energy there.
It's like a dog, and it's not ugly, but it's But it smells nice.
Yes, we've got a dog and it's not ugly, but it smells nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a case of being careful about who you trust. Being careful about actually...
And it's even called Pop-Pop.
Yes, it's called Pop-Pop. So being careful about actually sharing your dreams, your endeavours, and how you're going to get there, and how you're going to go about the route, the things that you're going to do to get to this material success. Keep it to yourself until you clearly know who is who in your life and what they represent for you. Keep that to yourself. Don't share that intellectual property. Don't share that path that you know you're going to take, the plans that you've been making with anybody right now, until you know where you stand with people that are around you. But it is going to become clear in the first week of March, around about-ish, if this resonates with you. And this might, you know, sting a little bit, because it might be from, like I say, a direction that you would have never predicted, that you would have never thought about, that you haven't been careful around because of that. So, you know, it'll change things up a little bit in your life. The second card being the Knight of Cups. So, you know, one up from the page, this knight is full of, he's got his emotions, he's being led by his emotions, he's being sent out on a message regarding the emotions, regarding what moves us in the heart. So he's on his way out to you, Gemini, in the second week of March, with maybe an offer in love, with maybe an offer to try and commit to something. But to clarify, him is the devil. And so I feel like, again, this is another red herring for you, Gemini, that, you know, it might seem really what you've been wanting or what you've been waiting for, the message from a certain person that you've been sort of yearning for, but there's the temptation there automatically to jump into something, to maybe jump into a relationship, or into what I'm feeling is a non-manship. You know, that it's neither commitment and it's neither not commitment. It's sort of, you won't know where you stand with this energy. You won't know where you're at with this energy. And the temptation is, because it sort of fits the visualization that you've had for maybe your love life, it's the temptation to jump into it because of that, without being diligent, without being discerning. And so I would wait before you act, before you accept any proposals, before you accept any invitations from this energy to go further, to commit further. This might show something up in you that still needs to be let go of, that still needs to have a chain broken from around your neck, something that, you know, attracts this kind of energy where it's sort of non-committal.
If one of you will live to one planet, and you have to say as a door number 7, and you even asked are you have to knock at the door, or just get that post thing and just do it. And
the letterbox.
Yeah, the box. And you might want to see your cat and our dog. Because they look so cute and stuff.
Yeah, you're so cute and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's an invitation, look. So yeah, there's neither nothing, now something is the saying here of, you know, it's neither a commitment, but then at the same time it'll tie you down to something that you can't explore, because that energy will expect that you will be tied down. So there's something maybe within some of the Geminis that still needs to be let go of, that way that, you know, that we attract that kind of energy, or that we would accept those type of boundaries, or that kind of invitation. So there's a real, again, need for discernment there, and diligence, due diligence. The third week being this Knight of Swords. This Knight is fast. This Knight works fast. This Knight really does get the message across fast. This Knight sort of makes your head spin, because you might have been waiting on some kind of news or some kind of information for a long time, and then all of a sudden this Knight comes in, and it's like you know, you quick your neck, because it comes in so fast that it shocks you. So that he's very fast, he's full of haste. With this Knight, there's always a message to not act too fast, to again have that diligence and discernment, I
go faster.
Yes, to not act with too much haste.
I run faster than that guy.
Again, be ready to jump on things that need to be jumped on, act on things that need to be acted on, but you know, have discernment about it. You know, take a breath at least before you. 1 second, baby. Let me do this video. So the be discernment and discerning.
I tell everybody I run faster than that guy.
Yes, you do run faster than this guy. Yeah. So be discerning and take a breath at least before, so that you can translate and transmute some of the messages that have come through via this Knight. Because they will come in thick and fast in this third week of March 2020. Often with this Knight, there's an energy that, you know, there may be a challenge that needs to be faced. There may be something that feels quite challenging, that could feel quite triggery, you know, that you need to face regarding whatever news it brings in. And there'll be a need for perseverance and courage to see through this challenge. So it's a bit confusing to me in that this this Queen of Wands, who's come up so often this February month, going into March, and so this Queen of Wands is, you know, she can be actually a little bit shy and a little bit reserved, but when you get to know her, she is sensual, she's connected, she's fiery and passionate, very caring, very open with her feelings, with her passions, with what drives her. But sometimes it takes a little bit to get to know her. And I feel that it might be that there's a challenge for some Geminis, that you are actually represented in this Queen of Wands, where, you know, you can come across, especially as a Gemini, a little bit detached, a little bit, you know, standoffish. But, you know, really it's shyness. Although you can be out there and you can, you know, play to a crowd, you can entertain people, actually to see the deeper parts of a Gemini takes a little bit more work, because they, you know, they can be quite shy. I'm confident, I'm out there, I can talk to anybody, you know, I can connect with most people and get along with most people, but I don't let people in very easily, like in, you know, to my inner grounds, to know who I really am, and so I could come across sometimes, relationship wise, a little bit standoffish, a little bit more stepped back. Now for me personally, and I'm going to say this because it might help some Geminis that might listen to this video, for me personally, I constantly am weighing up the risks. I'm constantly weighing up the, and I can very much, although I'm very passionate, very sensual, I weigh up the risks very much so in my Gemini mind, you know, that I've got children. What would this look like if this doesn't work? You know, I'm friends with this person already. What kind of, if the relationship didn't work, then what kind of hurts might I cause my friend? And I'm constantly weighing everything up a little bit too much. So it's as if this Knight is coming in so hard, so fast, that, you know, it's not giving you time to be shy. It's not giving you time to be a step back, because, and sometimes I think some Geminis might need that. in that they might need somebody who is super confident, very kind, yes, very compassionate, yes, but super confident, to just not see the knockbacks of this Gemini that's represented here, maybe out of shyness or out of weighing things up too much, as knockbacks, just taking them on the chin and continuing to communicate, to send in that communication, to make that connection. So I think in the third week for a lot of Geminis, there is this energy that is going to be persistent. And the challenge that I talked about previously, that to be met, is from the Geminis. It's from both sides actually, because the challenge for this Knight of Swords is to not get a bruised ego, not take things personally. If this Queen of Wands, who I feel represents the Geminis in this reading, you know, whether you're male or female, but you know, this very divine, feminine, sensual, open energy, but a bit shy, a bit reserved. There has to be a bravery that his ego doesn't get bruised. He just keeps, you know, chipping away and keeps, you know, trying to make a stronger connection, to make this man or woman feel confident about this, feel confident about, you know, entering into some kind of friendship or relationship, or just, you know, seeing how things go. And the challenge for this Queen of Wands maybe is to not be quite so shy, not be quite so reserved. Allow this person to see a little bit of the real you, i.e. Gemini, at the inner grounds of you, how you tick a little bit. Now, that's not to say you've got to, like, you know, tell your whole life story, because a lot of Geminis, yes, we can talk, but we don't like doing that. So, you know, it's not to say that, it's just to say that, you know, it's okay to actually just maintain conversation without having the expectation of anything. So you can go a little bit further into that communication to see how that goes. So I think that's the challenge that's being met. Now, if it goes nowhere, even if you meet this challenge and just allow yourself to be a little bit open, Gemini, that's a challenge still met. Because even if you know, you have a bit of conversation for a few weeks, a few months, and it goes no further, you still have, you know, leveled up a bit. You still have learned that lesson, that it's actually okay, with no expectations on you, no sort of contract with you, to open up, see how you communicate, see how things go, and then if it goes nowhere, that's fine, because you've still earned a valuable lesson from it, in that it's okay. You can keep your boundaries. You can do that while exploring, while allowing other people in the world into your life a little bit. And I could take a little bit of that advice for sure. I could absolutely take a little bit of that advice on board, well, a lot of that advice on board. So, you know, as a Gemini myself, the fourth card being for the fourth week of March 2020 is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is what Gemini has really been concentrating on. This is what the Geminis, a lot of us, have been really, really putting our heads down for, you know, and really grinding, really working for. There's this need for material freedom, material sustainability, and it's been a long time coming, Gemini, and there's been lots of lessons along the way. And I think this connects to the first cards, in that, you know, this Page of Pentacles and this Seven of Swords, in that there's been twists and turns along the way. And although Geminis can be a little bit shy, although they're on the outside confident, they can be a little bit too trusting also. Not all Geminis, that's wrong, but I know that that's my journey. And so there's a real thread of need for discernment throughout all of this reading, and clear thinking, clear thought patterns about something. And I do feel during this month of March, with this reading starting off with this Page of Pentacles, but being clarified by the Seven of Swords, this energy that has been sort of blocking you, this energy that's been you know, stabbing you in the back. There's a bit of betrayal there. There's a bit of trickery there that's been going on, holding you back. Throughout this month, through these various seemingly meaningless lessons that you go through, i.e., you know, not jumping to somebody's temptation of a vision that they think you want to hear, so you don't jump to that. Opening yourself up a bit to this news that's, you know, from this Knight of Swords, you know, allowing some conversation to flourish. There's lessons throughout all of this month, and for some reason things that have been kept from you, news that's been withheld from you, is coming in, and that seems to dissolve for me. This clarifying card on the first card, that, you know, this becomes very clear, and whatever it is, it unblocks you, and you actually, so you go from the Page of Pentacles to the end of the reading on the 4th week of March being the Ace of Pentacles. So there's something here that unlocks, that's something that unblocks. The drain gets unblocked and the water starts flowing. So that money coming in, or that you know, the place to work coming in, an office space that you've been wanting, the sustainability that you can spend on your home and make your home comfortable, but more for work, you know, so that you can build an office and a home and things. It comes in, whatever this represents for you, this Ace of Pentacles. This knowledge about this energy that's been sort of going behind your back seems to unblock you, and allow this abundance, this material sustainability to come in. To clarify, that Ace of Pentacles is the Queen of Cups. And, you know, this is because this Queen of Cups is so loving, so compassionate, so open with her heart. But she's led by her heart. She's led by her psychic knowing. She's led by her intuition. She's not led by her head, which often makes it so that she's full of wisdom, because she doesn't sort of look with these two eyes. She doesn't look at what illusions people might put before you, or that you might put before yourself. She feels with her heart. She's led with her third eye, you know, the pineal gland. She's led with she's led with the feelings and how things make her feel. So she often gets it right. And for some reason, you have been doing that a lot with this, through this month, you know, feeling your way through. She's very diligent with her emotions. She's balanced emotionally. She doesn't get triggered easily, because she's in control of her emotions. She understands the emotions. She understands why emotions are there. You know, they're actually another sense. They're another guide to help us feel our way through. Just like we have our eyes, ears, nose, they're another sense of not just the feeling, the physical, but feeling our way psychically through the obstacles that life can throw to everybody. And somehow, some way, it's you feeling your way through, not being triggered by this energy that you find out about that's been, you know, betraying you a bit behind your back, going behind your back a little bit, but actually seeing that as a great blessing, to just that it's the fact that it's being brought to light, the fact that, you know, you can move through this, you can move forward, and this dream again that you started off with, this hard work, you know, this hard graft that you've been doing towards this Ace of Pentacles, it's the reward is there, and this fills your heart with absolute awesome joy. You know, you're overwhelmed with the fact that, you know, things are finally starting to click into place materially, and you can feel it, you know it, and that's really a lovely energy to end on for it, Gemini, for you. On the bottom of the deck is the first card's been the Nine of Air. So, you know, this feeling of being so trapped. Things have taken so long, Gemini, to get to that Ace of Pentacles point, but nothing's been wasted. None of this time, none of this hurt or pain that you've gone through by trying to get to where you want to get to with this Ace of Pentacles, none of it's been wasted. because you've felt your way through. You've learned so much, you've grown so much, you've become anew so many times through this process, trying to get to this material abundance, this material wealth. So you know, it's nothing's wasted. Don't ever think that you've done awesomely to get to this point if this resonates with you. On the bottom of the other deck is this death card. It keeps coming up in so many private readings and so many general readings that I'm doing, and it is a time of transformation, but more importantly it's a time for letting go of the old skin that doesn't serve you, you know, that just itches you, that just, you know, doesn't look very nice on you anymore, you know, that it doesn't suit you anymore. You're shedding it, you're letting go of it, and there's this huge growth coming from this, and because of this, actually you'll be glad of all of the lessons that have brought you here to this energy of the death card, this transformational energy, because you wouldn't have wanted to have through some of the lessons that some of the Geminis and myself have gone through for quite some time now. You wouldn't have wanted your abundance to come in during that time, because this energy here was always ready to take it from you, was always ready to try and destroy it, to try and betray you and steal from you. So if you'd had, if you look back now, during this 9 of air time in your life, this cycle, this imprisonment, this sort of trapped feeling, you wouldn't have wanted that abundance when you look back now. And it's that kind of wisdom that you've gained in this Queen of Cups, because you're thankful that you didn't have this abundance before this death card, this process of transformation had come through, because you wouldn't have learned the lessons that you've learned in this Queen of Cups. You wouldn't have expanded your intuition, your knowing, and knowing when to go with your gut feelings, and you would have had this potentially taken from you, stolen from you again, because it's happened to many of us, hasn't it? So you know, now there's this is yours, and you can keep it, because you've shed away anything that doesn't serve you. You've shed away the people that were, you know, out to betray you. You've shed away anything that isn't good for you. And, you know, you're okay with that, because in this Queen of Cups, you actually look at the brighter side of that and see that you're thankful in that energy. So it's a brilliant reading, Gemini. Bit left field with all of those messages coming through, but you know, we are the communicators, so we do attract what we are, and so the news and information that you need, and some of it that you want to hear, is coming through. Just be diligent and discerning throughout this process. So I hope you like that. I hope it helped to inspire and guide you on your path. And if you'd like a private reading, hit me up with any of the contact details above or below. Any energy work, again, the same thing. If you're local to me, there's massage, and I really appreciate all of the support, and I'll see you again real soon. Be balanced all the time and be whole. Mwah.